Hello everyone and welcome back to another day in the life video. This week we're starting off heading up to work where I'm going to be working from 12 until 5, and then later tonight I'm going out with a friend from college as well as my girlfriend, so that's something fun to look forward to. But this week we're continuing on with our two classes, Clinical Reasoning 1 as well as Psychological Aspects of Care. It's our final week of full classes. Next week is going to be just a half week of class because then we have our nice little break before we go into our clinical experience 1. So I'm getting really excited for that. This morning, I already went through and made my to-do list of exactly what I need to do this week and got a few of those things done. So at work, I'm going to try and knock off a few more things, such as the second learning reflection that I need to do for neuro, as well as possibly doing the motivational interview assignment for Psychological Aspects of Care, where we're just kind of considering how much of I being an active listener and fully paying attention to what's going on, and how much am I thinking about what I'm going to say next. So just an interesting thought question, but I'm gonna head off to do that now, and I'll talk to you guys later. The weekend is already coming to a close. We had a good Easter overhaul where I got to enjoy the outdoors a little bit earlier in the day, doing a bit more of my cleanup, as well as getting to go over to my girlfriend's family to have some nice dinner and just kind of enjoy the night. So tomorrow we're getting back into it with our clinical reasoning from 9 until noon, and then I have work in the evening. That's really all there is, so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, I took the remainder of the afternoon really to just kind of relax because I know that I'm about to head off to work where I'm going to have 5 hours to just kind of work through any of the additional stuff that I need to do this week. So this morning we had our clinical reasoning class where we went through, this time talking about some interventions for our case. So in our case, we were talking about trying to use the literature to see if a stair high-intensity interval training could be comparable to traditional just moderate intensity exercise for cardiovascular rehabilitation, and see if we could apply that to our case, because being able to climb stairs is important to them with their household, as well as just keeping the intervention being functional rather than just lifting weights and then trying to translate it to a functional thing. It's nice that from the get-go we could use that to, one, measure progress, but also be able to use a functional task throughout it. So that was pretty much what we did this morning. Same as last week, where we just kind of appraised some articles, did a little assignment together, and then created kind of a summary that we share with the class. So now that that's done, I have work in a little bit. I think it's like in about a half hour since it's around 4:30 right now. So I'm going to get ready for that. But tomorrow we're moving into a little bit more with our humanities and talking about grief and loss and things like that in healthcare, since it is relatively prominent, especially within those acute environments. So it will be an interesting conversation to have tomorrow. I've already done all the pre-work for that, so I'll probably just review through it tonight while I'm at work. But that's pretty much all I have, so I'm going to get ready to head off to work, and I'll talk to you guys later. We had a pretty great day overall. We started off this morning with psychological aspects of care, where we were just talking about grief and mourning, the importance of not just jumping over that period of mourning, but actually sitting in it and making sure that we can be there for patients and help them feel their feelings so that we can really help them move forward in their care. So that was a really good conversation overall. Again, my classmates did an amazing job sharing their stories and just being really open to discussion. But then afterwards, we had a lot of fun together where we all went outside on the quad and we just kind of had a park day where we grabbed some soccer balls, grabbed some spike balls, some volleyball, and everything like that, and just went outside and enjoyed the really nice weather. It got up to about 81, 82 degrees today, so it's our warmest day that it's been for a while, and it was a great way to spend it with my friends. So I'm really happy that we had the chance to do that. And then later I went with some of my classmates to a clinic for kind of some education on chronic pain treatment and being able to take that progressive approach to be able to reintegrate things back into their lives and hopefully reduce that pain. So it was a great talk overall, but I do have a few more things that I need to do tonight. I have a knowledge check that I have to finish before class tomorrow morning, so I'm going to try and knock that out now, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I had another great day today where I started off going to clinical reasoning, where we dove more into the exposure and risk factors portion of the literature, as well as appraising articles for our case. It was a little bit harder than the other ones, as lots of my classmates I feel like found, but it was really good to practice doing those type of questions since they are the more difficult ones. But then I had a break for lunch before we had a Spanish class for kind of some medical terms, just some basic anatomy, as well as how to introduce yourself and ask some questions about pain that some of my classmates put together. It was put together really well. They had some good resources and just kind of opened it up for conversation. So I'm really looking forward to next week when we dive into a little bit more of that. But then we had our final clinical education one preparatory session where we just kind of got to talk with our advisors, get kind of the final details regarding things, and really just get excited for our clinical experience coming up in just a few weeks. So tonight I just have one assignment that I really need to get done. Then I think I'm going to go for a walk and run through some of my flashcards to prepare for CE1 and probably spend the rest of the night just relaxing since I'm pretty much at the end of the week. Tomorrow we just have a Zoom session from 10 a.m. until noon, so it'll be nice and short. Don't necessarily even need to leave the house, but I think I'm going to go to the library just to hang out with friends during it, so that way we can enjoy taking the breaks together, maybe get some hacky sacking in. So I'm going to get to that, maybe do some chores, and I'll talk to you guys later. We finished our last class of the week, which was psychological aspects of care, where we went into just discussing a little bit about therapeutic relationships, talking about our own self-regulation, and keeping ourselves within that conversation and keeping track of our own feelings, making sure that we're ready to have those type of conversations with patients. And then afterwards, I did some hacky sacking with some friends. Sadly, I forgot to record, but that's pretty much all that happened this morning. This afternoon, I have the entire rest of the night off, so I'm just going to kind of go through and create some flashcards, think about long-term studying, like what I need to do, starting to think about the NPTE, just organizing my notes and everything like that. So I'm going to get to that. I'll give you guys other updates along the way, but I think it's going to be a pretty chill night overall. That brings us to the end of another video. We managed to make it through our last full week of classes before we have our end of the semester. Next week, we have just 3 classes, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the morning, and then we're completely done for the semester. We get a nice 1-week break, and then we're heading off to clinic, which I'm super excited for. But if you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Thank you all for watching. This has been KB DPT, and I'll see you all in the next video.